I'm actually documenting my experience this morning with the reopening of our city, San Diego. Woo! So exciting.
How you doing? Yeah. And we are going forward, and so I am so incredibly proud of San Diego, a region that through all of this difficulty, more than 5 million tests administered, higher vaccine rates than any other California county, far higher than the state of California. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, so the reopening ceremony this morning was so much fun. I got to meet some really great people. And I've just got to say, if you're curious, I actually woke up this morning at 4 a.m. to get ready to get to this reopening ceremony at our county's administration building. All I've got to say is sometimes you just need to show up. You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like we kind of put a lot of pressure on ourselves to say the right thing, to try to find the right people to talk to try to make the right connections. But I want to do everything I can to help people learn how to get to that next level in life. And I definitely would recommend looking your best, doing your best to put yourself in a good mental space, get plenty of rest, smile. Smile at people who try to make eye contact with you. There will be plenty of people who, if you look like a somebody, they're gonna want to talk to you, okay? I'm actually here at Lazy Acres Natural Market here in Hillcrest. This is actually one of my more favorite grocery stores. They have like the best of the best. I'm actually vegan, and so they have a lot of alternatives here, a lot of non-dairy beverages and things that are kind of delicious, and if you're not a San Diego native, or if you don't live in this area, you probably wouldn't know about this grocery store unless you're watching this video or know somebody who knows about it. But if you come to San Diego, definitely visit Lazy Acres Natural Market, especially if you're vegan. I'll show you a look around inside, and then I'll show you what I got, because I also want to help encourage people to go vegan. So so let me see, or at least let me show you what I got from Lazy Acres, okay? So all of this stuff is dairy-free, vegan, right? And essentially, it's really important to invest in your health. And a lot of people argue that, vegan food, non-dairy food, vegan food is more expensive. And I'm not gonna lie, it does depend on where you go and where you get your food. However, even if you find yourself kind of, needing to pay higher prices for these, non-dairy vegan food items, it's worth it. It really is worth it. In the grander scheme of things, it's good for the earth. It's good for your health. Just a quick little tip, if you ever have any issues with acne, I would say going vegan could probably have a major positive impact on your overall skin health. Your dietary habits change so much that your systems change, and it's kind of like your body becomes less receptive to foods that have been more processed. So with all that being said, going vegan will really help you in more ways than one. Okay, so I got this forager. My phone shows everything backwards, so let me see if I can turn it into like the other side camera. Yeah, we got this Forager probiotic plant shake. So delicious, so good. It really does taste like yogurt, kind of. So delicious. I actually was cashier, and she was saying that these actually sell a lot. They sell a lot of these, which I'm not surprised. They're so delicious. And then the last thing, I also, because you know what, I thought about it, and I'm like, did I travel all the way out here just to get a couple of Forager probiotic shakes? Like, yes, I would make the trip out here just for these, but since I'm there, why not get a couple of other things that I've never tried before? So I have this cocoa truffle bar, Honey Mama's dark cacao, raw honey, coconut, and a hint of vanilla. It's actually kind of pretty. This actually, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I've not been the hugest fan of dark chocolate, but we'll try it. You never know. Okay, so I just briefly wanted to talk about, you know, my experience at the reopening ceremony this morning. I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous. I was nervous because, as I said, I knew that there would be a possibility that there would be people there that I already knew, but I knew that there would also be a lot of people attending that I've never met before. Sometimes, you know, you might put yourself out there, especially if you're a young person trying to make it into an industry that's already been established for so many years, and there are so many professionals that have been around for so long, and you're like this new face coming in. It can be really intimidating, you know. It's kind of like when you're making it into an industry that you know you're destined for, but you kind of have never done it yet, and you don't have any other connections that are there to help you. You know, you can kind of want to hold, you kind of want somebody to hold your hand almost. You know, you kind of want somebody to walk with you throughout the event and stay with you, but it's kind of like you've got to realize that if you went there by yourself, you're probably going to need to be comfortable with being by yourself, being on your own throughout the entire event, okay? Because networking is not one of those things where you build bonds, okay? Networking, like, a part of networking is getting to know people, but really networking is making connections. Making connections that you haven't made already. And, you know, you can have a connection, but you might not be able to establish a relationship right then and there, you know, and you might meet somebody who you're like, oh my God, this is the type of person that I've been wanting to meet for like the last year or whatever. And you'll be tempted to kind of like hold on to that person and try to attach yourself to that person and follow them around the event. Don't do this. You might feel like they're established, they know what they're doing, they're professionals, and that's probably true. But they're also there to network. You know, they might not know everybody who's there. And so you kind of need to give people space, you know, allow them the opportunity to sample your energy, to sample your personality, and then to kind of allow their palate, you know, space to breathe and space to taste other flavors, you know, studying etiquette, manners, how to be, you know, how to be polite without being too friendly, you know, because I know there's a lot of people out there that want to make connections, but then they get too personal too quick, you know, or they try to you know, tell their life story or tell somebody their whole vision. And it's kind of like, you got to realize that sometimes people don't always have the time to sit and listen to your elevator pitch, no matter how short it is. And so you've got to carry yourself and represent yourself the way you want to be seen, whether or not you have the time to convince them that you should be seen that way. Try to stay in a state of receptivity. You know what I mean? If people try to make eye contact with you, make eye contact with them. You know, acknowledge people, acknowledge their presence, you know, because sometimes people will try to approach, or they'll want to approach you, but if you look like you are not paying attention to their presence, like if they try to say something to you, you're just gonna pretend like you didn't hear them or see them, they probably won't approach you. You know, and if you are purposefully avoiding making eye contact with people, then they're definitely going to resist any desires they might have to start a conversation with you. So, you know, always make eye contact when people are talking to you and telling you about their goals and their business. Always listen. Allow other people the space to share their goals, their vision, because a lot of the time people come to networking events wanting to talk about what they do. And honestly, it's kind of like, if you can keep, like, let's say they ask you what you do for a living or what your business is or whatever, keep it short. Keep it as short as possible. Maybe give them your title, who you work for, and that's it. You can describe what you want, what you do there if they ask, but don't offer the information. Because when you offer information that was not asked for, it's almost disrespectful. Because it's like, if you're giving people information that they don't actually want or don't ask you for, it's almost like you are assigning yourself space in their mind. You know, it's almost like you're going to listen to what I have to say. You're going to listen to my goals and dreams and visions, whether you expected to or not. And you don't want to do this to people. You don't want to do this to people because it puts pressure on them to pretend like they're interested when they're not. You know, if it's not something that they're interested in, they won't ask, because it is just like a liability. You know what I mean? There's so many things. People who are professionals in their industry, who are at the top of their industry, they've been through, gone through, seen it all, seen the worst, experienced the worst, and probably had to deal with very difficult people. And so you always want to think about respecting them and their space, their mental energy, their industry first. Okay, this is going to allow people to see you as somebody they want to work with. You know, when you respect them, you respect their industry, you're curious about their industry, you want to maybe participate in what they have going on. That is the connection right there. That is the connection right there. And if you want to develop a lasting relationship, get involved. Get involved. Even if you can't get involved long term in what it is that they're doing or working towards, showing any kind of interest, showing any kind of effort, participating on any level will definitely get you places, because you never know. You never know. Sometimes you might have just met somebody and you know you can't tell if you know you really have favor with them or not. And then, you know, let's say you stop yourself from going to their meeting because you're like, oh, they don't like me. You know, never stop yourself from going to places that you've been invited to if you really feel like you can make those connections. Okay, do your best. Like, emotions and feelings and getting validation from people, if you don't have a secure, if your head is not secure, if you don't have the confidence or the self-esteem, like, let's say you struggle with loneliness, I would say do your best to work on yourself as a person, you know, to grow emotionally, because sometimes we'll sabotage these business relationships because we haven't worked on ourselves. You know, sometimes we'll have these immaturities that we carry around with us, and, you know, we'll treat people certain ways and not even realize how immature we're being. And this will tremendously affect our professional relationships, and it can almost be a vibration. You know what I mean? If you complain a lot, if you have something negative to say about things when people are in a good mood, and if you're just this damp cloth on top of the fire, you know, try to take a step back, because if you make moves when you're in a bad place emotionally, spiritually, mentally, you could burn bridges before you're even able to put yourself out there like that. So I would always say, try to get yourself into a good space mentally before you start pursuing your careers and your goals and your dreams, because that's the foundation. You are the foundation of your future. You are the foundation of your success, and your relationship with a higher power can make all the difference, you know, whether or not you have one. So with all that being said, you know, this will probably be the end of this video, because honestly, right after this, I'm just going home. I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning and I am sleepy. I'm sleepy and I'm hungry. And I'm excited for the future, and I guess we'll see how things go. I'll keep you all updated. Peace.